Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into a really fascinating modern guide to some pretty ancient wisdom. A guide that's all about helping us remember who we truly are.
Okay, let's just start with this powerful idea from the source material. It suggests that some wisdom isn't here to teach us something brand new, but to help us remember something really, really essential that we've lost along the way.
So what are we talking about here? This explainer is all about a book called Goldot, and you pronounce that Goldot. It's basically a modern take on this huge, almost forgotten, 1,000-page masterpiece from 1976. The whole point was to take its deep truths and make them accessible for, our busy modern lives.
Now, the book kicks off with a really bold premise. It says that as a species, we're suffering from a great amnesia. We've completely forgotten our true divine nature. And this work, it's presented as a map, a way to lead us out of that fog and back to ourselves. So if we're supposed to remember who we are, where do we even begin? Well, Goldot says, first, you have to understand the world you're living in. It starts by laying out the fundamental laws of reality, kind of like the unseen rules of the game. The book outlines 3 core principles, almost like an instruction manual for the universe itself. And it argues that if you can really get a handle on these laws, you can go from feeling like a victim of your circumstances to becoming a conscious creator of your own reality. The first law, mentalism, is really the foundation for everything else. It proposes that our thoughts aren't just these passive things happening in our heads. Nope. They are the active, creative force that literally sculpts our experience. The idea is what you hold in your mind, you eventually hold in your hand. And that flows right into the second law, vibration. The idea here is that everything is just energy, and our emotions create their own distinct frequencies. So high vibration feelings like love and joy, well, they naturally pull in similar outcomes. And low vibration feelings, they tend to attract challenges. You can think of it like the law of attraction, but explained with a bit of physics. And finally, that third law completely reframes how we think about karma. It's not some cosmic judge handing out rewards and punishments. Not at all. Instead, it's a neutral teacher, like a mirror, just showing you the direct results of your actions. It's really an invitation to take radical responsibility for your life. Okay, so once those universal laws are established, Goldot turns the focus inward. If that's how the universe works, then who are we inside of that universe? This next part is all about the science of the self. It presents us not as a single thing, but as a trinity of interconnected layers. You've got the physical body, which is our sacred temple, the mind, which is the architect of our reality, and the spirit, our eternal divine spark. The whole game is to bring these 3 into perfect harmony. Now, this next part is absolutely critical. The book makes this huge distinction between 2 aspects of ourselves. Most of us identify with our ego, that constant voice in our head, our personality. But Goldot argues that's the false self. Our true nature is the silent awareness behind all those thoughts, the pure consciousness that just watches. And that idea, it completely flips the script on the entire spiritual journey, right? It's not about becoming someone new or trying to find God out there. It's simply the act of remembering the divinity that we already are, something that's just been buried under layers and layers of conditioning. Okay, so this brings us to the million-dollar question, doesn't it? It's one thing to understand all these big, profound ideas, but how do you actually translate them into your everyday life? How do you live it? So to answer that, our final section here is all about application. It's about bridging that gap between knowing the path and actually walking it. It's all about embodying this wisdom day in and day out. Golden suggests that real mastery comes from integrating these 4 key practices. Each and every one of them is designed to dissolve the ego's grip and shift our identity over to that quiet, true awareness. This is the real, daily work of awakening. It also clears up a huge misunderstanding a lot of people have about spirituality. See, true renunciation, or non-attachment, isn't about giving up your job and going to live in a cave somewhere. It's about giving up your mental and emotional attachment to how things turn out. It's about being fully in the world, but totally free within it. The source really emphasizes that, at the end of the day, the greatest teaching you can offer the world isn't in your words. It's in your state of being. The quiet, transformative power of a calm and centered presence can say more than any lecture ever could. This quote really points to the ultimate shift in perspective. The goal is no longer about chasing miracles or some mystical high. Instead, it's about learning to be the miracle in every single ordinary moment, whether you're washing the dishes or talking to a friend, just by being totally present. So ultimately, this whole journey inward, it leads to a journey outward in service to others. The goal isn't personal escape. It's about becoming a beacon of light, a guiding presence that helps other people remember their own inner divinity, just by embodying your own.
And that brings us to the central challenge that Goldot leaves us with. It's a question that reframes the entire spiritual journey. It's a shift from seeking to being, from searching for the light to realizing you are the light. So what would change for you, right now, if you truly lived from that remembrance?